at all cost. Also find the market. Oh, I've not seen trade to enter. No, that's not supposed to be. Now, you see what gold did today. I was telling you yesterday, we got a sell. Now, I said I was selling yesterday, and this is the importance of picking your key levels when before the market, which you already have, if you have an understanding. Massive inducement, and I was telling us, I said, after this inducement today, probably we're going to break out, and now this breakout happened, and you want to still consolidate. But we have here now, for anyone who was not following, it's going to be very difficult for him to have find another entry at this point. Perhaps I was even off the market because I was busy with some other things. And so that will have been a beautiful entry here because this is a breakout and a retest, and that gave this. And so that means invariably, where do we have? We have the next point of call. That's about 3,433 points. That should be where it goes supposed to be traveling to. Quickly, let me just drive back to this point. Bitcoin on its own, you saw what it has done. Of course, we have some level of resistance for Bitcoin. And of course, if you are in the trade, TP1 was hit after a long time, and that plus was a rejection. And at the same time, if that rejection is not properly broken, then that means we're still going to flat down back to the 106,000 region, as it were. But of course, we have this by tomorrow or by the next opening candle, then we're going to have like power of three. And so if we have a power of three, this one as accumulation, the manipulation, and then price delivery. That means we're going to be traveling back to $125,000 again, or $127,000. But if we're unable to beautifully get the structure broken out of this point, then we're going to waste our time. Then we're going to take out the market. So gold has actually proven itself to be very nice, which happened this way. You can see go to sweep liquidity. Now, however, it was more confusing, but of course, if you know what you're doing and you're following the market update, you will have been able to do what you're supposed to do, perhaps, and all of that. So I'm just going around this thing, basic things and all of that. A sweep of liquidity or previously high, a low, and then work out and all of that. So the next point you're looking at is either a sweep this or a sweep this. So let's look at it. If that is going to first of all sweep, that will be 3,407 region. And if it's going to sweep only this, but that's a close liquidity that he needed to sweep. Okay. That's T 4,000, 3,400 and something, dollar region. If not, you'll be looking at 4,033 into this cloud and targeting this point, 4,033 region for gold. Now, but all of this, all said and done, is still ranging. Well, look at it from this range to this range, from this range, now back to this range, if we're going to break it out. Now, so let's go back to the market. So what opportunity can we find to buy or to trade now? For me, gold already shoot out of this point. Perhaps you were not there to have seen where to find an entry for gold. I think I saw GU trying to break out this afternoon again. Okay, it's still below in the cloud of this point, and perhaps let's look at GU. GU. Okay. So maybe it's tomorrow that is going to create a kind of a rejection up here. Okay, so that means should be looking for a buy for GU, but that's still clumsy. That's the problem. And so maybe let me lower time frame to gold to see where probably you can have a pullback. Oh my God, this is very beautiful. Be very beautiful. If you always take your time to follow trade as expected, you will have, yesterday when I marked this point out as the point where the market was quite crazily ranging, and I told us that this is a market you definitely don't want to trade. And then we have an expansion and distribution. Then after the expansion, reclaim back to the region. And this is the massive move of Asia section of all people imagine. And now inducement and breakout. And so this will have been a beautiful one. So I think there's a need for us to have a pullback back to this point too, so that we can find a beautiful entry for gold. Yeah. Because this is hidden up here. This is 3389, where it first touched. So a pullback, perhaps. So this is a very bad miss that happens here. Okay, so let's look for other alternative that we can find a trade. So the one that cannot give us trade now, let's leave them alone. Okay, and so multiple weeks, that's a very bad market. And so let's look at if Bitcoin sell because this limitation is having, if it get broken, just like what gold has done, then we could find possible entry there. So let's look at Bitcoin. So let's look at Bitcoin. Now, the challenge on Bitcoin right now is the fact that, let's quickly look at it. We're going to find an entry. Okay, so let it come up. So, right, so now Bitcoin here. So the little challenge with Bitcoin right now is that we have some level of fair value gap somewhere here. So, but nevertheless, I think this retest has happened. So let this thing open properly. I have Bitcoin here. So back up to this point. So there's a little challenge that Bitcoin could run into here. So this is another point that Bitcoin could run into here that gives a little concern. Let's look at it. So if not, so a little challenge for Bitcoin to run to here. Let's go to 5 minutes perhaps and see the takeoff. So that was a beautiful pullback already for Bitcoin. So this was a beautiful pullback. Yeah, so maybe for Bitcoin, those of you, so some of us already on Bitcoin, so I may not necessarily need to get an entry, but this is a pullback. So running into this point, you have to be very careful. So that is to say, if you're looking for a Bitcoin, this is a pullback, and then this engulfed this. So let's see if you're finding an entry here. Let me go here. Okay, Bitcoin. I think as you have maybe anytime I want to do live, network should come and disturb us. So if it's going to run into this fair value gap and get rejected eventually, you can still have up to 800 to 1,000 points or something, 1,200 points. It's going to reject. So, but it can inverse. So you need to understand it can inverse the FEG. I think I have that problem. I really want to mark this entry. So you're okay. So you can just see what I'm typing, what I'm saying now. So taking your stop loss below here. Very bad network. So your entry at where it is, 110,000. So note that your pricing may be different because of your broker and all of that. Woo! Why we're struggling is already. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I already said this is a good pullback, and so your entry should be there and all of that. And so, oh my goodness. To say put your stop loss below here and then travel up to. So if you target one ratio, two risk reward, so that will be close for you, but you can target over here, right, for your take profit. So now when you break this above this, so you want to now adjust your stop loss a bit closer. So nice one for Bitcoin. Yeah, I think network was messing up that oh my word. Now the network was back properly. Yeah, because I wanted to see the initial segment of position we were in, and we got this, right, as a problem right? So we are breaking out of that problem now gradually, right? And so, and then when you break out again, so we have a point here. This is a key level. So you definitely need to react here. Now, because I told you this is another block, right? So if this is another block, let's take it. Let's take this. Okay. So we have this other block to be run into unless eventually turn into a breaker block. So this is the point, and this is a fair value gap. So, but nevertheless, you're already done. Sorry, the network was challenging. Where I was trying to say, okay, your entry, and that was a beautiful pullback, So let me take off this guy. Yes. So we're on 5 minutes, and we said that was a very beautiful pullback here that I was saying. Yeah. Oh my goodness. What? Not, oh my God. So this is the importance of when you're trading, right? Yeah. So this was a pullback, right? This was a pullback. Okay. Now this was a key level, right? So when market is jumping, running, and you want a beautiful pullback, have this a down close candle with week, even though the week was not much. And then so I want to wait for the next candle to actually engulf that week. That makes a lot of sense. Now, some sniper entry traders enter at the close of this, but I wait for a bullish reverse. And then that was why I was telling us when the network was struggling us that the close of this candle was your entry and that your stop loss was here. Well, I don't know the justification you are going to do to it now. Okay. So I was talking of traveling to this cloud. Traveling to this cloud, which is an area that you want to be careful to because of two major things there, other block and the fair value gap there. Okay. So that is what it is. Bitcoin. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at GU that we should buy GU, right? But this is another problem with GU right now because of this is a form of kind of resistance, a turning point. So, but I think GU is journeying at pushing up, but that was not too strong, as beautiful as possible. Um, to me, Bitcoin was better off, right? And these guys too have been doing. I got this rejection in the morning, but everything was bad. So everything was bad in the sense that no volume to push up. So let's look at it. Oh, those of you who are on Solana, congratulations. Though I'm sure not many of you will be there because I really send it to those people who are trading futures, and those are paid subscribers on future trading. If you are there, and some of you are using um you trading boats, and there's a video I posted this evening that will use internet bot on Bybit and all of that. So why you need to register on Bybit. Well, of course, we've always been doing that for a very long time. So Solana, so the same thing Bitcoin suffered today was what Solana suffered, but Solana was more promising than Bitcoin anyway. Okay, so it was more promising than Bitcoin, and so I never to part all about Solana to that extent. But this guy don't want to pull back. Yeah, this guy didn't want to pull back. Perhaps after here, he should pull back, okay? So you just have to wait for a pullback. That make more beautiful because if you jump this, there's no confluence you jumping in. Though this was a breakout and retest, that was a beautiful one. It would have been the best entry and your stop loss will be justified. Now, when you enter now, you don't have justification for your stop loss, all right? And then even when you win in this type of a trade, it's still gambling because you can't really give conditions that warrant your entry and where you put your stop loss. So patient, okay? So patient for a pullback, perhaps for you to see. Let's see which other instrument actually was checking. Okay, USD. All of this was struggling. You only managed to did this take profit. Remember when I was telling some of us that day that once you get here, wait for the pullback, but look at the kind of now. Another thing you need to learn, most of us, when you enter trade, Don't use your hand to do yourself. Once you have put your trade, you put your stop loss, you put your take profit, for instance, allow the market to run. Yeah, don't say, oh, look at it, you want to go back. Let me quickly take the small profit that is given. No, you've set maybe two trade and one to take profit there and the other one. So whichever way, so you allow the market to run, and except otherwise, like some economic news and all of that, okay, going to cause a catastrophic kind of movement, and then you want to be careful and all of that. So I think it's still the GU that we can buy to an extent, but to where can we buy it to? Yeah, so even when I saw GU here, it will have been a beautiful buy, but I'm not going to be comfortable because it does not have good clearance. But this is a beautiful buy on your candle pattern. Now this is a down close candle, and then followed by this just like three candle and accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, and so that will have been a beautiful one. Okay, so even go back to 5 minutes. So then on 5 minutes, this is what do people call hammer or something. So then the preceding candle was not good, but the next one was better off, and that would have been a fantastic entry here. But I will still be concerned, maybe by and large, they're still looking at this buy side liquidity. And so I will still be concerned to say, okay, this is going to be a resistance for me. So if I couldn't find an entry here, then where can I find an entry here? There was a little pullback here. You were not in. So can I jump in at this price? It's quite dangerous, okay? Because when you jump in here, you can't put stop loss here. So when you put stop loss here, pullback can happen to come back to fill this gap. And then it's going to witch hunt you and you'll be angry that the market did that. Meanwhile, you're the one not checking things properly and all of that. So let's look at Euro USD. Okay. So I think it's the same thing they have. Pullback here. Okay. This is a pullback. Yeah. So Euro USD. Hmm. I think Euro USD is more even confused than the GBP USD to an extent. I love what happened today. So it's a lesson for many of us who are not patient enough to hold on to our position. I know a lot of people jump out of the market. But if you are meticulous and you're strategic in your trading, except for wrong trade or account that is not, of which account that is not strong enough to, and that's more reason why I think many of us that are trading, you need a profile, all right? Not just to just say you want to pass a profile account because of scaling, so that you have good fund and you plan your trade. It's not enough to have good fun. It is important to plan your trade. Okay, so this guy, okay, already approaching this. uh, Oh, jump to crypto. Yeah, so let's look at UDJPY. Yeah, that one tried today to an extent. Euro JPY. Yeah, I clearly expected that it bounce here, which was happening. Like I always tell many of us that always try as much as possible to avoid on trending trade, any trade that's not trending. What happened? I think maybe JPY, these guys are revenging against JPY. Let me look at it. It's just now that it's doing that. I could see Euro JPY trying to GBP USD and GBP JPY trying to come across. Oh, this is actually 1 hour. That means it was a good buy since. Yeah, but you want to be careful. So maybe when they break this, this will be another entry. So maybe when they break this key level, you want to find an entry. Okay, but this liquidity could sweep and return back. It all depends on how many pips you are looking for. Maybe because I always look for big pips. I always look for big pips. So it's only Bitcoin so far we've gotten. So which one are we going to get now? Once I miss a proper entry, I rather don't trade. rather than running after a market. It's quite dangerous. Mr. B, Mr. B, Mr. B, Mr. B, Mr. B, Mr. B, Mr. B. So as this guy pull back, okay, I think he's preparing that. So the next pullback for it is to find your entry for gold. Maybe we may be out of live session that time. This one, wow, it's crazy. Wow, amazing. What was I think I forgot this guy. Oil from this key level. Wow, amazing, amazing. So probably can come back to pick this liquidity and then continue up, perhaps, except otherwise. Oh, except otherwise. This is not a meet for everybody. So let me not even go there. And that was a beautiful return here. Cross above. That was a good entry. And targeting this buy side liquidity. Yeah, which guy is this? Okay, NAS 100. Okay. These guys are more volatile than little or when you don't know how to manage your account properly. Okay, I think the Bitcoin is still better off. Okay, so let me look at other crypto because sometimes when you tell people buy coin, they feel that I don't know what to say. Okay, let me look at Sui. Okay, Sui, yeah, Sui. If Bitcoin will recover from this bottom, so that means Sui could break all of these key levels up. So even if you are buying on a spot, so to this point, that's okay, that's just 10%. It's not big. That's on spots. But if it's on future, if you use 5x, 10% is 50% of the amount. So you can put $100, 50% is $50. So if you're trading that, okay? So 10x, that's 100%. That's if you travel up here. So which is likely, because if we look at it, let's return back here. But that was so squeezy. So that was what it was here. I think we had this here. Sweep. Then we have this. So if I stretch further, so that was a nice setup though. Well, but as Bitcoin was hampered, the journey was slow for them. But that was a good one. I haven't come to make another return. Of course, your stop loss below here, and that was already a better one. So that continuation could go much longer for it. So okay, I think there's a narrative around XRP more. Yeah, XRP. Okay. Okay. XRP. If we're gonna travel here. So let's look at it. 12. That's still almost the same, except otherwise. Okay, so let's go and check our gold back to see if he has finished pulling back. Let's go back to 5 minutes. Okay, so the pullback still ongoing. So I can see when I told you that you don't jump at markets, just have to respect yourself, and give you final signal. GBP USD. Oh, okay. I think this one will say we want to break above this point. So that could be now the best anyone who had gotten was this close candle stop loss below here. That will have better off. So but you can still find an entry when if you break and close above this and then retest. That's a beautiful one. Sorry, I don't trade small pips. Like I'm trying to learn it because you will be scalping in between, and that could be very demanding. So, so another pullback is about to happen. Beautiful setup. Now here, yes, see this one. Good, yes, which one? Ooh, so we're gonna find more multiple trade like yesterday. Where's the USD? This instrument is heavy than some accounts, so was it finished pulling back? No, that's not. It's gonna come. So likely to even hold to come and fill up this, perhaps possibly, or a touch into it and for the buy. See why I was not comfortable in all of this. It's always good to wait for a proper pullback and find an entry. Okay, gentlemen and ladies, I think as cabbage everywhere. Maybe because I don't trade too many instruments. Perhaps like some people trade USD chip, those of you who trade too many instruments. Okay, let me pause here. Do you have any question, anyone? I think this was even giving a setup. Any question? You have any question? You can ask questions. You cannot talk, you can type. Any question, anyone? Yes, questions? Double top, come back to grab liquidity here before buy up. So it's quite dangerous to, so we're good, no question, right? So if you are in Port Harcourt and in Everton on Thursday, we're live in the office. So you can join us or invite your friends to attend. So want the market to return back a sweep of liquidity, perhaps, then before getting a buy. Okay, does that mean we cannot? Okay, I'm not seeing any chart. We're all good, right? We're all good. Waiting good, come down, probably touch this line or even mitigate the whole thing here and find a reversal pattern before you find a buy. Okay, since no one is talking, okay, I can see a chart. Okay. Sunday, to mark key levels. You've not gone through some of the trading this thing on PARSS. I think we did that on PARSS strategy. Do we not do that? You've not watched your training model on that FELIX PARSS strategy on your, I think on the what's it called? Yeah, I think it's there on the, excuse me, let me check. In the Google Drive, I think we have that. Because if you don't, if so, so there are a few things that are very important in the market. If you must trade profitably, yeah. So you necessarily need to understand your POI, and then your key levels. Yeah. So because all of them just bind together, and so to help. Yeah. So let me see, Felix. Although maybe it's in my advanced Felix advanced inner code, but I think we have that. Unless if you do not check, let me check. Introduction to simple winning trading strategy. Let me just check it because this was given out. Trading view navigation, understanding PARSS, your daily trading routine, something like that. Oh, yeah, I think it's here. It's on this training. It's on this training. This thing, except you do not request for an access to it. Introduction to winning trading strategy, how to create fund account, how to connect, trading view setup and navigation. That should be there. Understanding MACD, RSI, and 50 moving average. Understanding past simple trading strategy. And I think that should be here now, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. All right, you are welcome back. And then so it's just like a double top. That means the market eventually going to be bearish, but this is the neckline. Now go back to your MACD. Okay, that's a failed rally. Then you have short, and then confirm this artificially to help people, and so that we can deliver. Okay, I think I've done this. Maybe other ones probably may be on the yes, something. There's comprehensive market analysis, price action, scalping strategy, selective profitable. Oh, I think it should be on that. Samuel, am I correct? That should be on that. Let's look at the market in a holistic approach. Yeah, I think it should be on that before the advance, because the advance, I do not go back to all those basics again. So I think it's there. Maybe you did not go through them. Perhaps you do not go through them. And I think even on this, I've done that. Yeah, I've done that too here on the, who got in? Who got into gold? Sorry, I was just doing my thing, and so it has created a kind of the pullback occurred here. But this is not a beautiful one for me. I would rather want to see it come back to this point. So perhaps you were not because okay, yeah, I did. Sorry, let me just check. Because I know I've done this key level marking, not even on one occasion, but on several occasions. Perhaps it's going to be on Whoop app. Yeah, it should be on Whoop app. Yes. Sunday, you are the one. FELIX Advanced PARSS Strategy is on Whoop app, and I told everybody to join the Whoop app. So you're the one that didn't join. Maybe you joined or you didn't go through it. Yeah, it's there. Look at it here. We go to the Whoop app. Yes. Look at it here. That if you're not making use of these videos, that would be very terrible because I expected that we should do the need for big money. Now, if we lose, it's not going to be too big. Trust me. Just quickly show you guys something about these key levels and what I use. If you want to copy this, you can copy it. Okay? Want to copy this? So Sunday, copy this. Go and do your homework. Right, let's look at it. There's some gap you jump. You have to go back to there. I've done that on the Whoop app. Advanced FELIX trading setups and plans. There, marking all the skill level was there. When you come to a higher level, you can let. Yeah, so because I did a lot of just about 2 videos on the major key levels marking and all that and some other kind of thing, past strategic overview and all this. All right, so you have to go back there to check it. I've done a lot about it because everybody needs it. Everybody needs to mark key levels and then POI, very, very important, and all of these things. All right, so thank everybody. Good night. Enjoy your night.